Hey friends, welcome to the Swing My Heart podcast with your host, Nicole
and Hannah. Come join us for some hopeful conversations about heartfelt entertainment that makes your heart swing.
Hey Hallmarkies, Hannah is out of town, so she couldn't make it today, but we have a very special guest on the podcast, our friend Chad, who has been on the podcast before and who I finally got to meet in person at Ramonadrama. Now, I asked Kristen this on our episode we recorded last night for Rippin' Time, but Chad, what was your favorite part of Ramonadrama?
I've got my Ramonadrama bracelet on here.
And I've got my Ramonadrama Crucibles mug.
My favorite part of the convention was meeting the fans and people who I've interacted with on social media over the past couple of years. I enjoyed meeting them more than I enjoyed meeting the actors, to be honest with
you. It was a lot of fun meeting all the postables and all my friends that I've met on Twitter and Instagram. And of course, meeting all of the actors as well, especially the Signed Still Delivered cast.
Oh yeah.
But I did mention this on our episode we recorded for Rippin' Time. I would have to say my favorite part would have to be singing with Kristen.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
that's right. You were able to share the stage with her.
Yes.
You had the guts to get up there and do it.
That was very nerve-wracking, but a lot of fun.
You sounded good though.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And did you sing McGraw? Tim McGraw? Is that what you sang?
Tim McGraw by Taylor Swift.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Now, how did you choose that song?
Well, that's a song that I kind of already knew how to sing because I had sung it before at my talent show my senior year in high school. So
I gotcha.
I didn't want to go up there and make a fool out of myself singing a song so off key that.
I gotcha. I got it. And did Kristen? Was she familiar with that song?
Yes, but she mentioned that she is more familiar with the Maggie Rogers version of it, which I've listened to that version and it's beautiful. But I didn't know that one as well. I didn't learn that one in enough time to sing that version at karaoke night.
I gotcha. Yeah, that must have been fun.
Yes, but she did a great job too, and it was really sweet of her to do that.
Oh yeah. I was signed up to do karaoke, but they never got to my name. My name was too far down on the list.
Oh. Yes, it was a great weekend. Hopefully there will be more that we can attend in the future.
Where do you think the next one will be? Any guesses?
I don't know. I hope it's in Charleston.
Charleston. Oh yeah. Charleston's a pretty big city, isn't it?
I mean, it's not a huge city like New York or Los Angeles, but I mean, we have a good amount of people here.
Yeah,
it's growing. It's a growing
I'm sure there's a convention center building big enough to hold something like that.
We have a lot of venues that
I mean,
accommodate.
It's probably a bigger city than Palm Beach, probably.
I'm not sure. I would have to actually do the research on population, but we have a lot of venues that could accommodate.
Well, one place they were talking about was Myrtle Beach, but I think that might have fallen through. That was one place they were talking about.
Yeah, I did hear Myrtle Beach. I believe that was supposed to be in like March or April.
It was supposed to be last spring. Of
this year,
but it got delayed.
It got delayed because
I'm guessing the next one is going to be Columbus, Ohio, is my guess.
That's a good guess.
That's my guess.
Yeah.
Don't know. I don't have any inside information. That's just a total guess.
Yeah. It's a good guess. I'm sure that they all go as many places as they can. So do we want to get started on our recap?
Before we get started, I got to show you my shirt. See? I got whales.
I like the shirt.
They're not orcas, they're humpback whales, but there is a humpback whale in this movie. They show one.
Yes. So today we will be recapping Splash of Love that premiered on the Hallmark Channel just a few weeks ago. It stars Benjamin Hollingsworth as Ben Winters, Rhiannon Fish as Chloe Turner, Laura Soltis as Mary Martin, Brad Abramenko as Adrian, Juliana Wimbles as Shauna. It was directed by Heather Hawthorne Doyle and written by Juliana Wimbles. Now, for all the postables out there, I know that you know this stars Ben, who played Charlie Riggs in the pilot, and Rhiannon, who played Charlie in the most recent movie, The Vows We Have Made.
It was fun to see them on the screen together.
Yes, it was. Great chemistry.
Yeah, they did well. They did good. I liked them together.
A PhD student expands her studies to include the whales of the Pacific Northwest. There she meets a whale watching tour guide, and they soon find themselves bonding over more than just orcas.
Oh, is that the summary off Hallmark Channel?
It's the summary off of IMDb.
Oh, IMDb. Okay,
Yes.
Okay, I gotcha.
So, what were your first thoughts on this movie?
My first thoughts of this movie is that I
Yes.
love this movie.
Me too.
The reason I love it is because there's whales in it. And I love whales. I love the ocean. I love whales. I love sharks. I love dolphins. So that's why I love the movie, because of the whales and the scenery. And I love the Pacific Northwest. So the scenery was just awesome. That's why I love the movie. If you remove the whales, I mean, it's not a great movie. But I still love it.
In my opinion, I really loved it, and I think it was a great movie. It was one of my favorites from this year, but
Is it?
yes.
Okay, that's good.
I would probably give it 4 out of 5 whales.
4 out of 5 whales. I would. I'm up there with you. I would, because they were really cute together. And like you said, they had good chemistry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do we want to get into a general overview of what happened in the movie?
Sure.
So Chloe, she lives in Miami. She is a student at a local university. We see a shot of her working on an experiment in one of the science labs. Then we see a shot of an article that says, right whales return to the first coast. Dr. Andrea comes in, one of her professors, and they have a conversation. Chloe tells her that the right whale samples came in and she couldn't wait till Monday to see. I loved her excitement in this moment.
Yes.
She also mentions how the contaminants are down 40% since last year's specimens. They are up an additional 6 whales currently, which means their food conservation efforts are working in the marine protected area that Chloe established, which is awesome. Dr. Andrea tells Chloe that the college has a research grant that allows one of their PhD students to study the orca whale migration in the Pacific Northwest. Chloe is Dr. Andrea's first choice for the program. Chloe is surprised and says she doesn't know anything about them. Dr. Andrea says she knows how curious Chloe is and encourages her to go, which I really loved.
Yes, but first, Chloe says no, because she says, I'm going to move in with my boyfriend this weekend. I'm like, what?
I was about to say that, yeah.
Come on, girl. What?
I was like, what?
You're going to turn down a trip to the Pacific Northwest?
I wouldn't, no.
No.
Chloe mentions how the trip would give her insight into a whole new species of whales. And then Dr. Andrea says, the more we know about the orcas. And then Chloe kind of bounces off of that by saying, the better we can protect them.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Andrea believes the trip would give her the field experience Chloe needs to nail down her thesis and maybe even present her with a discovery that would inspire her to apply for the National Doctoral Scholarship. And we'll talk about the line that she says after Dr. Andrea tells her that a little bit later, because it's really funny and it made me laugh.
Okay. Oh yeah, she did say something that was funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forget what she said exactly. Yeah.
The research trip is Monday to Sunday, but of course, like you just said, she declines because she says she has to move in with her boyfriend.
Yes, but she finds out in a few minutes what her boyfriend was actually talking about.
Yes, and her boyfriend was talking about an office, not a house.
Not a house or an apartment, yeah, an office.
An office.
So Chloe gets all bummed out.
Yes, she's like, this is an office.
Well, that's when she immediately picks up the phone and calls Dr.
Yes.
What's her name back?
Dr. Andrea.
Andrea calls her, yeah.
We see Chloe arrive in town for the research trip, but her car gets stuck in the mud and she is headed to what we find out is Mary's B&B in Cable Cove,
Right.
which is the town.
Her smart car.
Mm-hmm.
Which she said she requested from the rental place.
Yes. During the car ride with Ben, she tells him that she is studying marine mammalogy at Miami Central College. She's never seen orcas in the wild before, just the many times that she's watched Free Willy as a kid.
The hundreds of times she watched Free Willy. But
Yes.
we have to go back. She accepts a ride from a total stranger.
Yes.
She has no idea who this guy is.
Although I did love that scene.
Yeah, but the guy could be a serial killer.
Oh.
He's just
Oh,
driving
goodness.
by. But it was cute when she notices the mud puddle and she realizes she's gonna get splashed with mud, so she covers herself up with a map.
Yes, that was
Yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was funny.
Going back to the car ride for a second, have you ever seen Free Willy?
Oh yeah. Oh,
I have
yeah.
not.
You've never seen it?
Uh-uh.
Oh, okay. I saw the first one. I think I saw the second one, but I think they made like 3. I didn't see the third one. But I think I saw the first 2.
I'll have to check it out.
Oh yeah. If you like whales, it's a fun movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the
Chloe
movie, oh sorry, the movie Free Willy is actually based on an actual story.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Of this kid trying to free a whale that was in captivity in Mexico.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Chloe and Ben arrive in Cable Cove, and she finds out he has an entire business dedicated to whale watching tours. I love how she looks at the sign and she's just like, tell me your name again.
And she says, you let me ramble on in your truck about whales, and here you own a whale watching business.
Yes. So a little while after that, Chloe has arrived at her cabin and she's gotten settled, and she goes out to the backyard and she sees one of the whales. And then,
oh yeah, as soon as she got there.
yeah, she runs back inside to get her camera, and then she runs into Ben on the way to the dock. And then they have a little conversation, and he tells her something about how orcas are notoriously camera shy. And then I believe Chloe sees something and she runs down the dock. And he's like, where are you going? And she's like, to my boat.
Yeah. Now this confused me. She got there, she's been there 5 minutes and she already has a boat. Where does boat come from? I didn't understand that.
Ben was like, what, you have a boat? I actually have that dialogue written down that I can read in a little bit because it's really funny. But they have a moment when they're at her boat, and then he leaves and she's all by herself on this boat, and this lifeboat comes along, and the waters are the water is going everywhere, and she gets splashed with the water. So the next thing we know, she is at Mary's at the B&B, and Mary gives her a blanket because she's cold. I wrote in my notes, after the boat debacle, Mary has a conversation with Chloe and offers to give Ben Winters a call because he knows more about the orcas than anyone in Cable Cove. Chloe mentions that's not a good idea because he's offered to help a number of times, and she has told him she doesn't need help the same amount of time.
Yep.
We soon see Ben give Chloe a crash course on Cable Cove. He tells her that 120 years ago, a telegraph cable line was set up, giving Cable Cove its name. The Pacific Ocean is all around them, and as Ben says, has the tendency to be a little moody. 1 minute it's blue skies and calm tides. The next it's white squalls and raging winds. Cable Cove is known for its whales, specifically the orcas. According to Chloe, the southern resident orcas. Even though they are called resident orcas, they like to travel. Sometimes as far north as Alaska or all the way down to California. But the time of year it is in Cable Cove, they always come back there. The Chinook salmon run brings them to Sailfish Sound, to a river in Cable Cove. We don't hear what the river's name is, but we know that there is one, of course. The Chinooks then return to another river to spawn, and the whales just sit back, relax, and wait to feast. We find out on Saturday that Mary is holding her annual fine dining dock dinner party. She gets the lobsters flown in from the Atlantic, AAA fillets from the prairies, and champagne. Mary sells tickets, and all the proceeds go to the Cable Cove Conservation Fund, which I really love that they give it to charity.
They dedicate the money to charity, yes.
Yes. It is an organization that helps make sure all the resident orcas keep coming back. It's their busiest time for tourists, and between the orca migration and the dock party, everything is booked up. Chloe mentions how it might be nice to have a little local guidance, so she accepts the offer of Ben taking her on a tour of Cable Cove.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
A few minutes later, we see Ben introduce Chloe to Adrian and Shauna. They live on a boat in Cable Cove, and they have a conversation for a few minutes, and then we see Ben and Chloe go out on their tour of Cable Cove.
This is another thing that confused me. She's a PhD oceanographer student, but she's creeped out by crabs. Because Adrian shows her a crab and she's like, "Ooh, get that away from me."
That was kind of funny. So they go on their tour, and then they return to Cable Cove, and they get to the dock, and Chloe mentions there are 3 major transient orcapods: the B, D, and E pods, Bravo, the biggest, Delta, the oldest orca in Cable Cove, and Echo, which is the smallest of the pods.
But when they were out there on his little tour, that's when she saw the whales breaching out of the water and swimming around and having a good time.
Yes.
That was one of my favorite parts of the movie right there.
Yes, that was one of mine too. And we can talk a little bit more about that in a little while. We hear that their societal structure is matriarchal, meaning that sons and daughters will stay with their mothers even after they've had offspring of their own. They have really strong family bonds, which means that Delta, or as Ben called her, Granny, runs everything around Cable Cove. Like I just mentioned, Echo is the smallest pod of the 3, which makes it Ben's favorite. There's 9 of them, and they're a really tight-knit unit. And like you mentioned, on their first tour, they see Bravo, and Delta. But they haven't seen Echo yet.
And Ben tells Chloe that there's 35 whales around
33.
them. Oh, 33? Okay, I knew it was
Yeah.
30 something. 33 whales around them, their boat, when they were.
Yes.
And she was shocked that there were that many whales around them.
Yes. And talking to Dr. Andrea, Chloe mentions she is thinking of conducting some onshore tests that day to see if there might be a reason why the echopod is missing. One of the next scenes we see is Chloe. She's doing research at Mary's, and Mary comes by and gives her a cup of coffee and a cupcake. And she says that in Cable Cove, those orcas have always been unpredictable. Chloe mentions that off the Florida coast, they saw a major drop-off of the right whales. Then when she investigated, they saw that their food source had been compromised. Mary asks Chloe if she believes the echopod may have gone somewhere else to feed, and Chloe thinks it's a good place to start for her research. Chloe goes to chat with Shauna and Adrian briefly, and they don't know where the echopod is either. And Adrian mentions that he hasn't seen the echopod since last year.
Right.
So it's been a whole year and they still haven't found the echopod.
Right. And so, yeah, Chloe asks them how the salmon are. And they said, oh, there's plenty of salmon, because she thought maybe there wasn't enough food and that's why the pod left.
Yes.
Yeah, but then she realizes that's not why they left. It must be another reason.
Yeah. Yes, Adrian says that the salmon is the healthiest it's ever been.
Yeah.
Ben put a call out to some of the other whale watching boats, but nothing yet. In her onshore research, Chloe found that the water temperature seems normal. There are no parasites in the local shellfish, and that there is plenty of salmon running. Ben has been doing this a long time, and every season the whales get him chasing his tail, as he said.
Yes. A little whale pun there.
Yes. Chloe doesn't have all season. Her research study needs evidence backed up by all 3 of the pods. So Ben suggests that they take a water sample to possibly help with the research. Chloe says she could take an extraction of the volumes of the mutations of the phytoplankton or algae, the base layer of the marine food chain.
When she says phytoplankton,
He's like,
Ben has no idea what she's talking about. Which you think he probably would, since he's out on the ocean all day long, every day.
Yes, I was thinking the same thing, but that scene was really funny.
Yeah.
There is a storm rolling in, and Ben and Chloe might not be able to go out on the water the following day. Rain they can handle, but if it's bad winds, they'll have to stay on shore. And that they do, because it's too nasty outside to go out on the water. The next thing we see is Chloe. She is at her cabin and she's talking to Ben because he stops by and he can tell that something is wrong. She says that the water samples came back clean and that she needs some inspiration to find out why the echopod is still missing. They go to the museum and Ben shows her around, and one of the rooms that they go to is the playground, which is a room with family heirlooms that have been passed down over generations.
That's where she sees the fin that he found when he was a kid or something like that, right?
I believe so. And they made it into an axe.
Oh yeah, that part. Yeah. There was an axe.
Yes, they found a whalebone that they made into an axe. They go on a hike. Ben shows Chloe the Broken Islands, which is the start of the Sailfish Sound, or a gateway. Chloe believes if the echopod isn't already in the sound, They should be arriving shortly, right through the islands.
But why does she think they're going to arrive shortly? She doesn't know yet.
She
Why does
doesn't know
She
yet,
doesn't know. She must be just guessing, I guess.
but she will find out very soon. One of the next scenes we see, Ben and Chloe, they are at Mary's, and Mary comes in and she's talking about the storm. It knocked down many trees, and the only road into Cable Cove is underwater.
So like the guests can't get there for the big party.
Nope. The guests for the weekend are stranded in the next town over with no way in.
That's right. But Chloe saves the day with an idea.
Yes. Which we'll hear later. Chloe saves the day by suggesting that they take a boat to Port Douglas, which is an hour away by car. But by boat, it is about 4 hours to and from.
So her plan is to ship the guests in by boat.
Yes.
Well, that's a long boat ride.
Long boat ride, but I'm sure it's a pretty one.
Yeah.
And it is 4 hours if they time it right, going through Deception Pass. And Deception Pass is a narrow passing shallow body of water. Boats don't usually go through there if they don't have to. The depth can be deceiving. You have to time yourself perfectly with the tides, otherwise you'll bottom out. And Ben thinks it's worth the risk. So, of course.
Yep. All for Mary and her guests.
While on the boat going through Deception Pass, Chloe shows Ben the hydrophone. The hydrophone picks up signals from all over the ocean, way further out than a camera could ever capture. They drop it in the water, and the low frequency calls are collected onto an app that they can also listen to.
Is that where she was using her iPad to watch what was going on under the water? She had a tablet.
No.
Was that that part?
No, they had the radio device, I think, or a device that lets them listen to.
Okay. All right. I got you.
Yeah. This is when they find the Echo Pod, which is awesome. It was a great scene.
Yes.
We also hear in this scene that Ben's aunt, who works for the museum, say that Chloe could use the space as a research facility, and she thought that the history might inspire her.
His aunt told her she could use the museum?
His aunt told him, and then Ben told Chloe.
All right, I missed that part. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
They return to Cable Cove. Chloe invites Ben to dinner. He suggests Mary's. I love this scene too. While looking at the photos at Mary's, Chloe notices something is different about Betty, one of the adult female whales. Ben shared Chloe's underwater footage with his sister, who teaches kindergarten. And as he said, the kids went nuts. I love that he did that. I love that he showed the footage to other people. That's awesome.
Oh, yeah. Really, and I'm glad she didn't get mad about it either.
Yeah, me too.
I thought she was going to get mad because that's usually what happens in these movies.
Yeah, sometimes.
One person does something without the other's permission, then they get mad at each other. Yeah.
At dinner, Ben and Adrian, they see that Mary needs help with things, for dinner. And that leaves Shauna and Chloe to talk. And she mentions that Ben has an ex.
They always do.
They always do.
Yes, Shannon's her name, right?
Yes, Shannon is her name. Chloe has another conversation with Dr. Andrea, and she believes there does seem to be a much significant bulge in Echo's abdominal region than what they saw in last year's aerial photo. So they come to the conclusion that Betty is pregnant.
That's right. And they're all excited.
Yes.
At least Chloe is.
Yes.
And she can't wait to tell Ben.
Nope, she can't wait to tell Ben. We hear that orca whales gestate for 15 to 18 months. She's showing, but she could still have a ways to go. Chloe wants to know if her pregnancy has anything to do with the ecopod changing their migration patterns. She is exploring this for her PhD thesis and was thinking she could build a website and live stream the underwater footage she's been getting. The more people feel like they know the whales, the more they'll want to protect them.
Mm-hmm.
And it would take a lot more time and funding to stay there long enough to be able to do that, which is why the scholarship is much needed.
Right. Is that when she gets interested in this scholarship at that point?
I believe so.
Because at the beginning of the movie, she wasn't interested in the scholarship. She says, "Oh,
Yeah.
I don't have any chance of getting winning that." She said.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I think you're right. Yeah. We see Chloe run into Shannon, the old friend.
Shannon. Yeah, Shannon introduces herself as an old friend.
She's like, "Have you seen Ben Winters?"
Yeah. She doesn't mention that she's her next girlfriend. She says old friend.
That always means ex.
Oh yeah. And that's always me. That means also means someone you can't trust. When they're not honest and say who they really are.
Yeah. Yep. Chloe informs Ben that Betty is pregnant, and according to the photos from last year, she was pregnant then too, which means she's due any day now.
Yeah, no, I don't know who gets more excited when they find out that news, Ben or Chloe. I mean, they both go nuts.
I love Ben's reaction.
Yeah.
He's like, "I need to tell the other boats.
I need to tell the other, I need to keep the tour boats 10 feet away, 20 feet away." He's like rambling on about everything needs to be done.
Yeah. And she's like, "Ben, I'm pretty sure the pod will protect her." This part when he's talking about Shannon. He said she was returning his kayak paddles that he was storing with her. She and her boyfriend are turning their shed into a vlogging space for their cats.
Mm-hmm. Their cats.
For their cats.
So their cats are going to be TikTok stars, apparently.
Or YouTube stars.
Or YouTube, yeah.
Mary is taking down the signs for the dock party because the steak and lobster didn't make it past the washed out road. So there's no surf and turf.
Mm-hmm. Which makes no sense. I can see where they can't get the turf, but they can get the surf. There's lobsters all around them, right? There's got to be.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But I guess it couldn't get the steak.
It does kind of make sense because meat has to be refrigerated in a certain amount of time.
Right. Yeah.
Spoil.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yes, they could get the lobster. They couldn't get the steak.
I know they're surrounded by the ocean. But someone does think of that eventually.
Yeah. And this is totally not related to this movie, but every time I hear the word turf now, I think of the Christmas movie when Norman's like, "Turf."
Oh, yeah.
They're at the postal.
They're at the party. They're at the party, right? The dance at the beginning. Yeah.
Yeah, they're at the postal dance and they're talking about turf.
Are they? Well, I don't remember them talking about turf.
Yeah, and Oliver's like, "Turf, another word for someone else's territory."
Oh.
And then I think Rita's like, "Turf? Turf? That's a funny word. Turf, turf, turf."
I don't remember that. I gotta watch that now.
Sorry for getting off track, y'all.
Wait, is that when he was talking about someone else's territory? Is that when he sees what's his name dancing with Shane?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just had to bring that up. Sorry for getting a little off track, but
it always goes back to SSD. Everything.
It all comes back to SSD.
That's right.
going back to the scene when they find out that there will be no surf and turf, Mary says that the only thing to do now is find a way to refund all the ticket money. But Chloe says, no, don't do that. We'll find another way. And the dog party is the longest standing tradition in Cable Cove. Now we hear Ben tell this to Chloe when they are about to go kayaking.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and the kayaking scene's coming up. I like this scene.
Yes, I do too. Chloe has one theory about the Echo Pod, and she is basing her entire scholarship application on it. She believes that the Echo Pod is changing their migratory patterns to suit the needs of pregnant Betty. They are staying out in the strait where there's less traffic and less competition for food.
Mm-hmm.
And she says they are nesting.
Mm-hmm.
Chloe's hypothesis is that once Betty's calf is born, they'll move to the sound with the rest of the whales. And she won't have a conclusion until she has evidence, which she's hoping comes in the form of a happy, healthy baby whale. In this same scene, we see Chloe come to the conclusion that Mary doesn't need steak and lobster to have a dock party when she has a whole ocean full of fine dining right at her front door. And that includes all the crabs that Adrian has caught and doesn't know what to do with.
That's right. That's right. We're going to have a seafood smorgasbord without the steak.
Yes.
Without the turf.
Turf. Turf.
Mm-hmm.
Turf, turf, turf.
If you notice, when they were pouring all the food onto the table later in the movie, they also have corn on the cob mixed in with the seafood. Yeah. So they have corn there, but they don't have cows.
Well, they could have a grocery store. I'm sure they have a grocery store.
Yeah.
Have you ever had seafood boil?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
we have it some here too.
Yeah, well, you should. You live right on the ocean.
It's big in the South, yes.
I know. Yeah. Now, if you were to get in a car, how long would it take you to get to the beach from where you are?
From where I am,
Yeah.
about 25, 30 minutes, maybe.
That's it? Oh,
Yeah.
my gosh. I'd be over there every weekend walking the beach.
Yeah.
Wow, that's neat.
Yeah. Yep.
That's one thing I regret about Ramonadrama. I did not go walk the beach at Ramonadrama. I don't know what I was thinking, but I was up at like 5:30 every morning, and I wish I would have taken an Uber and walked the beach and watched the sunrise. I'm kicking myself that I didn't do that.
That would have been fun.
Yeah, I should have done that.
We didn't go to the beach in Palm Beach, but when we left Palm Beach after Ramonadrama, we did go into New Smyrna Beach, and we walked on the beach just a little bit there.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah.
Where's that? Is that north of Palm Beach? Is that where that is?
Yeah, it was on the way back.
Yeah. It had
to
be
Mount
north.
Pleasant.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's neat. So you got to see the ocean a little bit.
Yeah. And for all of you out there who haven't seen the Ramonadrama recap, there are a few pictures at the end of the vlog of New Smyrna Beach. So check that out.
Okay.
If you haven't already. I have one in there of the bed and breakfast where we stayed, or the inn where we stayed. And then a few of the dock that was literally like almost right outside our door. And then I think I took maybe one or two of the road going to the beach. And literally there in New Smyrna, you can drive your car on the beach.
Oh, really? Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah. Although we didn't do that. We just parked our car in, one of the parking spots in town, where the shops are, and we walked.
Mm-hmm.
So it was still fun. It's a really pretty area. And it kind of, when we got to the end, it's like, am I in a Hallmark movie right now? Because I was like walking into an inn.
Walking into an inn? Yeah, they're always staying at inns and little bed and breakfast places. You just needed a man. That's all you needed.
Oh.
You just needed some hunky guy with you to meet.
No. While talking to Mary about the fundraiser, Chloe mentions how in the South, they do this thing called a seafood boil, like we were just talking about, where they roll some paper down the table and dump everything in the middle.
Mm-hmm. Eat right off the table.
Eat right off the table, yeah. So after they figure out everything with the dock party, Ben leaves and it's just Chloe and Mary, and they have a conversation. Mary tells Chloe that she can tell there is chemistry between her and Ben. Chloe admits there is something between them, but in 2 days she'll be on a plane to Miami and he'll still be in Cable Cove where he belongs. Chloe says it's possible she belongs there too. And that whole week has made her wonder why she is going back to Miami.
But doesn't she have to go back to finish school?
Yeah, I was wondering that.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering too.
That would be the only reason I could think of.
Yeah, she has to finish her classes and write a senior thesis or something, or a dissertation or something to finish her PhD.
Yeah. So we see Chloe at the museum again, and she's doing more research. Ben comes by and they have a conversation, and he says that he wants to use some of her photos on his website. And he also wants to take her out on her last day in Cable Cove, which I thought was really sweet.
Mm-hmm.
After Ben leaves, Chloe gives Marcus a call to try and tell him she doesn't think things are working out between them. And he's just like, I'm sorry, you're breaking up. You're breaking up.
Yeah, that was funny. She kept saying you're breaking up, and she really was trying to break up.
Literally, yeah.
Yeah.
So it is time for the dock party. Ben tells Chloe that her photos made a lot of money for the fund. Chloe isn't ready for her trip to end. She says she needs more time for her study. And I'd say to spend more time with Ben too.
Yeah. Yep.
Ben isn't ready for her to leave either. He says that anytime she wants to come back, she is welcome in Cable Cove.
And he will always be there.
Along with the whales, yes.
Yep. Yep. That's when they were like doing the romantic dance. They were dancing, right?
Yeah, that was after the dance. Yeah.
Oh, was that after the dance?
Yeah, that was after the dance. Marcus shows up and tries to do this big romantic gesture to win her back, but nope. Not gonna happen.
He sure does.
Not gonna happen.
He was gonna take her out on a yacht or something, right?
Yeah, take her out on a yacht. Yeah. They both feel that there's something between them that doesn't click, so they break up on good terms and agree to still be friends, which I liked. That was nice to see.
Yeah, he didn't even care. He's like, okay, whatever, see you later. I mean, it didn't even bother him one bit.
He's just like, what? Okay. But I did like that because you don't see that a lot.
Right. Right, that's true. That's true.
I remember when I was live tweeting during the movie, that one tweet, I think you saw both of them. When Marcus first showed up and was talking to Ben, I said something like, okay, this dude is just rude.
Oh, yeah, that was when he kicked his drink over, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like 5 seconds later, I tweeted something like, okay, I take that back.
I take it back. Yeah, after he didn't get mad at Chloe.
Yeah. I was just like, I take that back. Although that was kind of rude for him to just kick the drink over and not pick it up.
Yeah.
We see Chloe go to talk to Mary to ask if she's seen Ben. Mary informs her about what Marcus told him. Ben told the other boats to call out to Total Eclipse if they see the ecopod. All the guide boats are already out, so no one else is leaving.
So Chloe gets upset because Ben left without her, but that's because Ben thought she was on the yacht with Marcus.
Yep. kind of sad.
Mm-hmm. And then this next part, this next scene, I don't get.
Chloe decides to pack up and leave Cable Cove.
Yeah, why is she leaving? That's the part I didn't get. She's leaving just because Ben went out on the boat without her? I didn't understand why she was leaving.
Well, I mean, we know that day she had to go back already, or she was planning
Oh, was
to
that
go
the
back
day
already.
she had to leave anyway?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
It was? Oh, okay. I didn't realize that. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought she was leaving early. Okay.
Yeah, well, when she comes back to talk to Mary a second time, you know, when she has her suitcase, she says that she got an earlier flight.
So, okay. Okay. So she was leaving earlier than she planned.
Yeah.
Okay.
Chloe tells Mary that without the possibility of a research scholarship, there's no way that she can stay in Cable Cove. Mary tells Chloe that she has changed the town for the better and made her mark on everyone, especially Ben. And then we hear Ben call over the radio for a Mayday call.
Mayday call. Yeah. I thought his boat was sinking.
That's kind of what I thought at first.
That's what I thought was going on.
I was like, oh no.
Because they all freaked out.
Yeah. But his boat, Marine Magic, was calling to report complete engine failure.
Mm-hmm.
So Chloe joins Adrian and Shauna on their boat to go look for Ben. And eventually they find Ben.
Mm-hmm. And I was disappointed that his boat wasn't sinking.
Dad!
I thought it was a big emergency. I thought his boat was going to be sinking.
I know you don't mean that.
He's just standing there on the boat. His engine quit. But he's perfectly fine. But he's perfectly fine.
I know you don't mean that. After finding Ben, Chloe lets him know that she and Marcus broke up. She admits they were never a match and how she tried so hard to ignore that. She tells him that when they met, something just clicked and Ben feels the same way.
They confess their love for each other after knowing each other for a week.
Yes, they do.
A week.
Yes, they do. After that.
That's nuts. But that's the way it happens in all these movies.
Yes, but it's still nice.
Yeah. Well, of course, in the Hallmark universe, a week is like 2 years. Usually they confess their love to each other after 2 days. So
yeah,
a week is a long time.
Yeah. We see that the baby whale was born, which means Chloe's research study was right.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes.
Yay. And the last scene, Chloe has a conversation with Dr. Andrea and the other professors. The board has reviewed her application, and they said it was one of the best applications they've ever received. They have awarded her the scholarship and 3 additional grants, which will allow her to stay in Cable Cove to start up her whale live stream.
Yeah, so she doesn't need to finish any classes. She can stay right there, apparently.
Yes, which is nice. She'll get to stay in Cable Cove.
Yes.
Do we want to chat about our favorite scenes?
Favorite scenes, okay.
And funniest moments.
And funniest moments, okay.
So the first one on my list, we talked a little bit about this earlier, but it's in the first scene and they're talking about the National Doctoral Scholarship. And Chloe says, "That's the most competitive award in the country. I'm more likely to get drafted by NASA than get that scholarship."
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yep.
The whole scene of Chloe arriving in town, her car getting stuck in the mud, trying to pull the GPS on her phone, but no service. So she goes old school with the paper map.
Oh, that's right. The map, she pulls out the map. She's unfolding it. Yep.
Then she steps in the mud, and you mentioned this, but she's covering herself with the map because of the puddle, and Ben is pulling up at this point.
Yep.
And then the whole part with her meeting Ben, when he says, "It should be illegal to rent these things to tourists around here." "Excuse me, I'm not a tourist. I'm a scientist, and I asked for a smart car." "Not so smart after all." "Oh, funny."
Yes.
Another favorite scene was when Chloe arrives in Cable Cove in her cabin. Just the scenery.
Oh,
in
yeah.
That scene and the whole movie, really, it was just beautiful.
Oh, yeah. When she looks out the window and she sees the whale coming
Yeah.
up out of the water and she grabs her
Yes.
camera and starts running outside. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We mentioned this one a little bit earlier as well, but Chloe trying to take pictures of the whale and running to the boat and then trying to catch up to the pod. Ben says, "Where are you going?" Chloe says, "To my boat. Got to catch up to the pod. Excuse me, pardon me." Ben, "You've got a boat?" And then they get to the boat.
Mm-hmm.
Or Ben
Yep.
gets to the boat.
Man, it's like a little tiny rowboat. It's a little tiny thing.
Yeah. Also, Chloe showing Ben her boat, and Ben says, "And you know what you're doing?" Chloe says, "Yes, just checking out the old bow here."
Oh,
Ben,
yeah.
Ben says, "That's the sternum. Bow's up front."
That's the yep.
Chloe's like, "I know that. I was just looking at it from here."
So she's a PhD student and she doesn't know the front of the boat from the back of the boat.
I even knew that. I think I've told you this before, but from kindergarten to ninth grade, I went to an all-girls school. And when I was in middle school and I think ninth grade too, before I changed to a co-ed school, my class went on a overnight trip on a boat that we have docked here in Charleston. And it's called the Spirit of South Carolina. And we learned all about what it takes to, live on a boat and work on a boat. So we learned all of that terminology, like the bow and the sternum and, how to lift the sails. And it was a lot of fun.
Oh, that's neat. Now, did your class go out on the boat? Did
Yes.
they take it out on the ocean?
Yeah. Not too far.
Mhm.
We stayed in Charleston Harbor, but
Oh, okay.
it was a lot
neat.
of fun.
That's neat. Did you get seasick?
No.
All right.
No.
Good job.
I mean, it was cold.
Yeah.
I mean, we had to have jackets and everything. I don't remember what time of year it was, but it was still chilly.
Yeah.
And I think I had to have those like leggings and like long sleeve shirts that you can put under your pajamas. I don't remember what they're called, but they help you stay warm.
Yeah.
Like I think I had 2 or 3 layers on.
Now, when you're out there, did you see any dolphin or anything swimming around?
I can't even remember. That was so long ago. We might have, but it was a lot of fun. We had a good time.
Yeah, it's always fun to go out on boats.
Yeah. I love the scene when Ben and Chloe are on the boat for the first time and she starts to try and install the underwater camera and she's like,
she almost falls in.
Yeah. She's like sitting on the edge of the boat, or not sitting, but she's like leaning over the edge of the boat and she almost falls in and Ben
catches her, right? Yeah.
I also love in that scene how they are talking about the whales and Chloe says, "So you believe the whales know we watch them for entertainment?" And Ben says, 100%.
Oh, yeah.
The whales I know have big personalities.
He says the whales are watching them. They're not watching the whales, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Of course, seeing the whales in that scene, that was a really nice moment.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite moments.
Yeah.
First time they went out and saw the whales.
Yeah. The conversation with Chloe and Mary at the B&B, and they're talking about the whales. And this is when Mary had come by to give her the cup of coffee and cupcake. And Chloe says, "I know I'd migrate here for your cupcakes."
Yep. Yeah, that was a funny line.
Yeah.
And her facial expression when she bit into the cupcake was funny.
Yeah. Ben and Chloe talking about the phytoplankton or algae. And Chloe says, "Healthy supplies of it mean happy whales." And Ben's like, "Happy whales." This is another favorite scene when they are at the stream taking water samples, and Ben says, "Come on in. You're lucky you came during the 1 week of the year the water is warm." And then we see Chloe react to the cold water, and Ben says, "Ish. Yeah, I forgot to say ish." Chloe says, "I thought this was supposed to be the Pacific, not the Antarctic."
Yeah, she's not used to cold water because
No.
she's from Miami where the water's warmer.
Yes.
Pacific Ocean is cold.
Yeah. And Ben says, "The water's not going to sample itself. Breathe. Become one with the water. I'm about to become one with hypothermia." I felt bad for it, but at the same time, it was kind of fun.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Another scene I really loved was when they go on their hike and they see the whale migration from the different perspective. And, this is when they do see the whales, and he picks her up in excitement. That was cute. And they share that almost kiss.
Yeah. They kind of hugged, right? They hugged each other.
Yeah. And they're just like,
yeah, and they they kind of back away from each other.
Ben and Chloe on his boat going through Deception Pass and then returning to Cable Cove. Now, this is when they actually finally see the Echo Pod. When they get back, I love the high five that they give each other. And Ben says, "Nice job," referring to tying the boat to the dock.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And Chloe says, "Yeah, I had a good teacher. Maybe I could take him to dinner sometime." And then, this is when Ben suggests going to Mary's.
Yeah, she made the moves on him there.
Yes.
She asked him out.
He says, "I know just the place. It's close by. It's a great view. Wonderful owner. You talking about Mary's? Ding, ding, ding."
Must be the only restaurant in town.
I don't know.
Probably.
I wouldn't mind going to Mary's for dinner every day.
Yeah.
Or every night, is what I meant. When they are at dinner, I love this scene too, when they're looking at the photos Chloe took of the whales, and Ben is complimenting her on her photography and the underwater footage. And then their conversation with Shauna and Adrian, and then Chloe chatting with Shauna about Ben. That was a nice moment too.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was talking to her about Ben. That's right.
Yeah. One of my top favorite moments in this movie is when Ben and Chloe, they are sitting by the fire and they see the Northern Lights, or
that's on my list.
Aurora Borealis.
Yes. Yeah, they see the Aurora Borealis. Now, on that scene, that's one of my favorite scenes. They have a fire, they have hot chocolate, they have the Northern Lights. They're sitting next to each other, but they'd never kiss. They don't kiss.
Nope.
How could they not kiss? It was a romantic
I was wondering
night.
that too. I was
know.
surprised it wasn't a mid-movie kiss.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Or even an interrupted kiss, something. But nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing happened.
Yeah. I also really loved when Chloe is talking to Dr. Andrea about Echo being pregnant and the scholarship. That was really nice. Just the excitement from Chloe. And then I really loved how supportive her professor was. That was nice to see.
Right. Oh, yeah. Yep. True. Because not all professors are like that.
No. Although most of my professors were very nice.
Were they? Oh, that's good.
Yeah. Although
that's good.
Where I went to college, we didn't really call them professors. They were just teachers.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Or faculty is another word for a teacher. So Ben and Chloe kayaking in their conversation after. Again, the scenery is beautiful.
Right. That was one of my favorite scenes.
Yeah.
And then when they're kayaking and Betty comes up right by the kayak.
Yep.
And Ben says, "Grab your camera." And she says, no, this is just for you and I.
Yes.
Yeah, that was nice.
Yeah. I also love when he gives her the oysters. And
I have that listed as one of my funny scenes.
Yeah. She says, oysters? I thought you said this wasn't going to be romantic. It's not romance, it's sustenance. Thank you, but I don't eat raw fish. It's not eating, it's experiencing.
Yeah, so she eats one, and then he hands her another one to eat. And when he's not looking, she throws it over her shoulder.
Oh, I didn't even see that.
You didn't see that? Oh, that was funny. That was the funniest scene in the whole movie, I thought.
I didn't even notice how she just threw it.
She chucks it away when he's not looking. After she tells him how good the first one was.
Oh gosh. Have you ever eaten oysters?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes, I did. I have to.
I don't care for them though, but I have tried.
Oh,
them.
You don't care
for I don't like them, but I have tried them.
I like them okay.
You like them?
Yeah.
They're slimy. Oh, they're all these slimy, gooey. Ugh.
Actually, funny story. I think the first time I had oysters, I was like 2 or 4, maybe.
Oh, you were young. Yeah. When I was a teenager, they were too slimy. I never tried them when I was a teenager. I finally tried them when I was an adult. Yeah, I didn't care for them.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
It's all good. I also love how they did the cheers with the oysters, and they say, to magic, you have to see to believe.
Oh, I missed that line.
Yeah.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
They toasted the oysters?
Yeah.
Is this when they were on that little island?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I missed that line. I just remember Ben telling Chloe it's pure protein and it's good for you.
Yeah. When they are talking to Mary about the fundraiser, I love how Ben says farm to table, and then he corrects himself and he says ocean to table experience.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right.
Very clever.
That's right, because they didn't get anything from the farm.
Yeah.
That's right.
I also love how when they're talking about the seafood boil, Mary says something about how that could be messy, and Chloe says, messy? Yes. Fun? Also, yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep.
Of course, Mary encouraging Chloe about her feelings for Ben.
Mm-hmm.
It's really nice. Ben and Chloe's conversation at the museum, and the scene I'm referring to, because there were a couple, it's the one when Chloe tells Ben that he's inspired her, and Ben says, you've been inspiring me all week.
Mm-hmm. That's nice.
Yes. And I believe this was the moment before she had called Marcus to say that things are not working out between them.
Mm-hmm. Now, has anyone ever told you that you inspire them?
I don't even remember.
Really? Oh.
But maybe it's just my humble nature that I just can't remember.
Well, you were voted, what was it in high school? You were voted
for senior superlatives. I was voted
like kindest person or something like that. Something
senior
like that.
superlatives, I was voted friendliest or nicest.
Yeah.
Most school spirit and most likely to succeed.
Yeah. Well, I've never inspired anyone, so.
Oh. And then I was prom queen.
Yeah, I know. You were the queen of the prom. I know it. And a cheerleader.
Yes.
But you weren't the head cheerleader, were you?
I was captain, yes.
Oh, you were the captain of the cheerleading team? Oh my gosh, you were everything in high school. Holy man. I didn't realize that.
I think I was, was it 2? No, I was just captain my senior year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow. So the other girls must have been jealous of you. Captain of the cheerleading, prom queen?
No, we all got along.
Oh, that's good.
We're all good friends.
That's good.
Yeah. And I was yearbook editor for 2 years.
Were you?
Which that was really fun to do. Yeah. And being on yearbook is what really got me interested in graphic design.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
But well, being editor.
And that's what you went on to school for. Graphic design,
it is.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. Being editor for 2 years, I was totally not thinking that was going to happen. Because usually in high school, someone only gets to be editor 1 year. But
oh, really?
It was really humbling.
Oh.
I mean, I was grateful for the opportunity to be editor for 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
I guess my yearbook advisor thought I did.
So you got to
great
choose what was
job.
in the yearbook and what wasn't?
Well, I mean, I can't remember. It was so long ago. But I mean, I did have a big part in things that, went in, and I helped a lot with the layout, of course. And
Yeah.
I think choosing photos, I think that was a big part of what went into like my job. I believe it was also my responsibility to like contact businesses for ads in the yearbook.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
Me and then my co-editors. But it was fun. I had a good time. Ben, Chloe, Adrian, and Shauna setting up for the party, and then the dock party itself. That was a good scene.
They had a montage of them getting ready, setting up for the party.
Yeah, with the string lights and the paper on the table. Yep. I loved when Ben saw Chloe, get to the party, and he calls her Chloe. That was cute.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
A little nickname for her already.
And I love how Chloe realized that Ben turned her photos into posters. And then the dancing and their conversation after the party when he says, "You came here and you changed all that. Chloe, you changed everything. I never realized how amazing it would be to share all of this with someone until you."
That's nice.
Chloe seeing the Northern Lights from her cabin. That was a nice scene. This was when
that's right. Yeah.
she was about to leave, and she
she said, "Show me a sign" or something.
Give me a sign.
Give me a sign. She was like talking to God or something for a sign. And then she looks up and sees the Northern Lights. Yeah.
Ben and Chloe's conversation on Adrian and Shauna's boat. Now, this is when they found Ben after the whole boat debacle. Ben says, "With you, I finally get what people are talking about in the saying, when the right one comes along, Chloe says, "Well, Ben, there are 3 things I know. I know I belong in Cable Cove. I know you are who I belong with. And I know I love you." And Ben says, "I love you too." And then the kiss and seeing the pod and the baby whale. And the last scene, Chloe telling Ben she got the scholarship and that she is staying in Cable Cove. And that's the end of the movie.
Did they kiss again at the end? Were there 2 kisses?
Yes.
Yeah.
And that is the splash of love.
Let's see. I have favorite scenes.
Yes, go ahead.
When Chloe meets the seal lying on the dock.
Yep, I love that scene too.
I thought that was funny.
Yeah.
The seal was awfully cute.
Yes.
And then when he took her to some land to see the whales, because I guess it wasn't safe to go out on the water, so they took her. He took her to some piece of land, and they were standing on this kind of like island. I don't know what it was, but that was when they saw the humpback whales breaching, jumping up out of the water.
Yeah.
She said, "Oh, those are humpback whales." Yes,
I believe that was the moment when he picked her up and they had the almost kiss.
Yeah, and then another funny line was when Chloe shows up to the party there at the end, and she's wearing this blue dress, and Ben says to her, "Wow, you look amazing," and then he looks at himself and says, "And I'm wearing a bib."
Yeah, that was funny. It was cute though.
Yeah. And then we already talked about Marcus knocking over Ben's drink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have some trivia.
Okay, let's do this. My questions aren't any good, but I'm sure yours are.
All right. So my first question is, how many times did Chloe tell Ben she's seen the movie Free Willy as a kid?
Oh my gosh.
A, 600, B, 800, C, 1,000, or D, 400?
800.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I knew it. Now, if you wouldn't have given me multiple choice, I probably wouldn't have gotten it.
When Chloe and Ben were on his boat, how many whales were around them? A, 33, B, 40, C, 25, or D, 15?
Oh, we already mentioned this. 33, yeah.
Yes. Ding, 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 ding. How long have orcas been in the Sailfish Sea? 3,050 years, 4,000 years, 1,020 years, or 5,000 years?
Oh, wait, how long have orcas been in the ocean?
Sailfish Sea.
I think it was 4,000, wasn't it?
Nah.
What was it?
No, 5,000.
Oh, was it that many? 5,000.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I knew it was a long time.
Yeah. What is the name of Ben's aunt he mentioned to Chloe? A, Emma, B, Doreen, C, Catherine, or D, Rachel?
Where are you getting these questions? I don't even remember him talking about an aunt. And you got her name. You got her name.
Yeah, his aunt was the one that said Chloe could do her research at the museum.
Yeah, I missed all that. I missed that line. Okay, so what were the names again?
Emma, Doreen, Catherine, or Rachel?
I'm going with Doreen.
Yep.
Oh,
Ding,
no,
ding,
wait,
ding,
that
ding.
was a total guess. Oh, I got it. Wow.
Good job.
That was a guess.
What did Ben, Chloe, Adrian, and Shauna have for dinner? Now, this is when they had gotten back and helped everyone else get to Cable Cove.
This was before the party?
Yes, this was before the dock party.
What'd they have for dinner? Okay.
A, salmon, B, lobster, C, fish and chips, or D, shrimp?
I'm going fish and chips.
Yep.
Oh, all right. That was a half guess.
Ding, 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 ding.
That was a half guess because I think I sort of remember them eating French fries, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What time did Mary say dinner starts? Now, this is for the party. A, 5 p.m., B, 7 p.m., C, 6 p.m., or D, 8 p.m.?
I'll go 7 o'clock.
Nah.
Oh, it wasn't?
Nope.
Well, 5's too early to start a party. What is it?
It's 5.
It's 5? Oh, 5's too early. Oh,
You don't
okay.
remember? That
No.
was when they were talking about setting up for the party, and then it was before the montage scene of them setting up.
Oh, okay.
All right, and that was my last question. Do you have any?
Yeah, let's see. We already mentioned the seal lying on the dock. What was the seal's name? Was it Flipper, Susie, Sam, or Charlie?
I think it was Susie.
Ooh.
Did I get it right?
It was Sam.
Oh, Sam.
It was Sam.
I knew it started with an S.
All right. How old is the whale that Ben calls Granny? 75 years old, 105 years old, 85 years old, or 95 years old?
105.
Yeah, you got that one. You knew that one. Which I looked this up. That's actually not possible. Female orcas live an average of 45 years. And at the most, the longest they can live is like 80 years.
Oh, wow.
So they really stretched the truth on that one.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, this one you're going to know, well, because you've said this several times, but the name of the town in which the movie takes place in, is it Cedar Cove, Hope Valley, Peggy's Cove, or Cable Cove?
You went all out on those choices there.
No, I know you know the answer, but I just wanted to read the choices.
Cable Cove.
Cable Cove.
You went all Hallmark on those choices.
I know. Hey,
especially with those first two.
Yeah, Cedar Cove. I thought that was a good one. I thought that was a good one. Okay, what is the name of the pregnant whale? You know this one too. Is it Betty, Bobby, Romeo, or Juliet?
Betty.
Betty, yes. All right. Here's another one. Oh, you know this one too. All right. What does Ben tell Chloe Shannon wants to return to him?
His kayak paddles.
See, you didn't even need the choices. I know.
It's because I mentioned it in the episode.
I know. You already know that one. All right. Let's try this one. I got two more here. Oh, wait. You already know this one too. All right. How many whales are in the Echo Pod?
9.
Yeah, you knew that one. Okay. All right. What kind of cupcake does Mary give Chloe when Chloe says she would migrate to a restaurant for the cupcakes? Is it vanilla, blueberry, raspberry, or chocolate?
Chocolate.
Yes, it was chocolate.
That's easy.
I know.
It's a good question, though.
All my questions were easy.
You had good questions, though.
Next time I gotta come up with some obscure questions that you won't know.
Oh, goodness.
Like what color shirt someone's wearing in a certain scene or something, some
Okay.
weird question.
I have a few this or that questions before
Okay.
we wrap up.
All right.
So my first one is cupcakes or brownies?
Cupcakes or brownies? You're asking me what I like better?
Yeah, which do you like better? Yeah.
Oh, which do I like better?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Cupcakes or brownies? Let me think. Boy, that's a tough choice. Cupcakes or brownies? I'll go brownies.
I'd probably have to say brownies too, although cupcakes are good.
Yeah, cupcakes are good too.
Yeah. Fish and chips or lobster?
Oh, fish and chips, definitely.
Yeah, I like lobster, but fish and chips.
Yeah, fish and chips. Now you're too young to remember. There used to be a franchise restaurant called Arthur Treacher's.
No, I have no idea what
Fish
that
and
is.
chips. You have no idea what that is. Okay.
No.
All right, forget it then.
I do know what Red Lobster is.
You know you've eaten at Red Lobster. Okay.
Cheese biscuits. Out of this world.
The biscuits that they put on the table.
Oh,
those things.
Gosh, yes.
Yeah, they're just loaded with butter.
Yeah.
It's like a butter bomb. It's like a butter bomb. I know.
They actually, well, at least at the grocery store where we are, they have the actual like Red Lobster biscuit mix that you could buy.
Oh, they do?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you can make them at home.
Yes.
I
And I have made them a few times before at home.
Oh, you have?
Yes.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Oysters or crab? I think I know what your answer is going to be.
Crab. Yeah. Forget those oysters.
I like oysters, but crab.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fishing with Adrian and Shauna or whale watching with Ben and Chloe?
Oh, whale watching. Definitely.
Yeah.
Forget
definitely.
fishing.
Definitely.
Now, are you a fisherman or fisherwoman?
Fisherwoman. I've never gone fishing, actually.
No. Okay.
Nope.
I did a couple times when I was a kid, but I'm not.
I'm
not a
fish.
fisherman.
I do like to eat fish.
Yeah.
Kayaking or hiking?
Ooh, kayaking or hiking? I'd say kayaking. I like the water.
Let's see. That's a hard one for me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even. Have I been kayaking?
I've never kayaked, but I'm saying kayak anyway.
Yeah. Well, man, this is hard. I'd say kayaking, depending on where it was. Like, I wouldn't want to. Like, if it was.
Yeah.
Like,
that's
if it
true.
was an area like Ben and Chloe were, then yeah.
Yeah, if it was out in a bay or an ocean.
Yeah.
But if it was in some dirty river, no. You know.
So maybe hiking.
Okay.
I haven't gone on many hikes, but when I was in 5th grade, I believe my class took a trip to Green River Preserve, which is like a wooded area.
Yeah.
And I think we went on some hikes then.
And I remember years ago, a bunch of friends and I went hiking in the Adirondacks, which are mountains up in upstate New York.
Yeah.
Man, I couldn't walk for 3 days after that. I mean, we hiked all
Oh.
day long, up and down the mountains all day. Oh my
Oh.
gosh, I was so sore.
Yeah. Green River, I believe, is like near the Appalachian
Oh, okay.
Appalachian Mountains. So
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, and they're in the western part of North
Mhm.
Carolina.
Yeah. And we actually, if I remember correctly, we stayed in log cabins, like literally.
Oh, did you? Cool.
And we were warned not to leave food out
Uh-huh.
for like bears or
Yep.
you know, raccoons.
Raccoons, yep.
Snakes could like
Mm-hmm.
come in the cabin.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, wouldn't that freak you out? Wow.
The only downside to that trip was after we got back, I got scarlet fever.
Scarlet fever? And your name isn't Scarlet? Wow. How'd you get scarlet fever?
It's an infection.
Wow.
Like scarlet fever is, you know, an infection that they had way back.
Yeah, years ago, centuries ago, right?
Yeah. Like Little House on the Prairie time.
Yeah. I've never even heard of people getting that. Wow.
Yeah. Oof, it was bad.
Was it? Yeah. How long were you laid up with that?
I don't even remember. Probably at least a week.
Jeez. Yeah.
I think scarlet fever, I think one of the symptoms is a rash, I think.
Oh, yeah?
I remember. I would have to look it up, but not fun at all. My last this or that question is photography or science. So what I mean by this is like, would you rather be a photographer or a scientist?
Photographer, I think.
Yeah.
I like photography. Yeah.
Although I love science.
Yeah. When I was a kid, I wanted to be an oceanographer.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
So yeah, that was.
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, I loved the ocean. I loved all the sea life and everything.
Yeah.
I wanted to learn about it.
Yeah. I do have to say that marine biology was one of my favorite classes in high school.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I would have to say photography if I had to pick.
Yeah.
And that is actually what I wanted to do before I chose graphic design.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's actually what I was going to go to school for, but the Art Institute didn't have a 4-year degree for photography. So.
Oh, that's why. Okay.
I chose graphic design.
So you settled on graphic design.
Well, I wouldn't say I settled. I mean, graphic design is a very nice degree to go into. There's a lot of opportunity. So.
Yeah, that's true.
I think that wraps up our recap of A Splash of Love with our friend Chad from the GAC YAK Podcast, which you will be changing the name of that soon.
I'm going to be changing the name pretty soon. Yep, later this month.
GAC family is now changing their name. So
yes, it's going to be called Great American Family. So yeah, it's exciting. They're going to have new movies every Saturday night.
That will be exciting. So where can people find you on social media?
On social media, my personal account is at Chad Maurice, and my podcast accounts are at GAC TV Podcast, and my website is gactvpodcast.com. But that's going to be changing too, because I have to get a new domain name, because I have to eliminate the GAC.
Yes.
So all that'll be changing in a couple weeks.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for coming on. This was a lot of fun.
Hey, anytime. It's always fun to chat with you.
Yes, and we can't wait to have you back on again sometime.
Okay, thanks.
All right, Hallmarkies, thank you so much for listening to our recap of A Splash of Love. We hope you enjoyed, and we will see you very soon for our next episode. We love y'all and have a great day or night wherever you are in the world.